President Trump has agreed to meet with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, which is a historic feat. He will be the first United States president to meet with him. He's actually been talking about making a deal with North Korea since 1999.
Do you want to do it in 5 years when they have warheads all over the place, every one of them pointing to New York City, to Washington, and every one of our... Is that when you want to do it? Or do you want to do something now? You better do it now. And if they think you're serious, I deal with lots of people. If they think you're serious, they'll negotiate, and it'll never come to that.
Hold up a second. Isn't it strange that we could be in a nuclear Cold War with a country's leader that we've never even spoken to? How do we know that we can't make peace if we've never spoken to them? We can't possibly know that. The media's been lying. Dennis Rodman, good friend of Kim Jong-un, has said many times that Kim actually loves America. He loves American culture, he doesn't want to bomb the United States, and he really wanted to speak to Obama. I still can't get over that. Why in the world would we not even attempt to communicate with them? Very fishy. So now that Trump is doing what we should have done for a long time, talk to Kim Jong-un, the media is freaking out. CNN paints it as doomsday, saying, just by showing up to see Kim Jong-un, Donald Trump would be giving his murderous dynasty what it has always craved, the prestige and propaganda coup of meeting of equals with the President of the United States. This is the same CNN that was creepily salivating over North Korea at the Olympics with headlines like, North Korea is winning the Olympics, and Kim Jong-un's sister is stealing the show at the Winter Olympics. This has to be one of the fakest news networks on the planet. Not because Trump said it, but because it's the truth. Democrats like Rachel Maddow and Hillary Clinton are saying how bad and dangerous this meeting is. Even NPR is claiming that this is a high-risk meeting. Hey NPR morons! North Korea's been threatening to destroy the United States in a sea of fire for decades now. How would a meeting and actual communication be high risk? It's low risk, high reward, not high risk, high reward. NPR parades around as fair and balanced, but they're really just the pseudo-intellectual hipster face of CNN and MSNBC. Fake celebrity activists that I once loved like Ellen think they're so woke for not having Trump on their platform, yet she proudly parades around with George W. Bush and Barack Obama. I wonder how many millions of Iraqi, Syrian, and Libyan women and children that were slaughtered, raped, enslaved, and displaced really care about your fake outrage and insanely hypocritical double standards. On that note, the rest of the world who has had to deal with America isn't buying this "we're a pacifist peacemaker" demeanor portrayed by the media. How many leaders have we killed and how many countries have we invaded? You think Trump acting strong is going to be a bad thing? You think him throwing our weight around to make a deal is going to be bad and that people actually believe are fake, soft-spoken politicians? No, of course not. The only ones buying that fake portrayal of the United States is people in the United States or other countries who are brainwashed sheep of the very fake news media. We have the biggest military in the world. We've sold weapons to virtually everyone. We fund civil wars. We replace leaders. We have broken dozens of treaties. Last time we disarmed a leader, we killed him and completely ruined an entire country.
على السؤال اللي حاير لماذا العراق؟ شو سببه؟ بن لادن عراقي ما هو عراقي، اللي ضربوا نيويورك عراقيين ما هم عراقيين، اللي ضربوا البنتاغون عراقيين ما هم عراقيين. يد عربية بالكامل تقتل تشنق في المشانق ما نتفرج، لماذا؟ ما ممكن الدور جاي عليكم كلكم. نعم.
End of unconfirmed. Yes, we came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? No, oh, I'm sure it did.
Maybe Kim Jong-un is a little scared, especially if there's been media outrage for decades and no one's ever even spoken to Kim Jong-un. Maybe the news organizations and puppet politicians don't want world peace and they aren't happy that Trump is accomplishing everything that they never could accomplish or didn't want to accomplish. We are a strong country and Donald Trump isn't being fake about it. The world is a crazy place and Donald Trump isn't lying about it.
He's a killer, though. Putin's a killer. A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent? You think our country's so innocent?
I don't know of any government leaders that are killers in America.
Well, take a look at what we've done too. We've made a lot of mistakes. I've been against the war in Iraq from the beginning.
Yeah, mistakes are different than...
A lot of mistakes, okay, but a lot of people were killed. So a lot of killers around, believe me.
I'm sorry that some people like to be showered in soft lies, but some of us are sick and tired of that because there's a lot on the line. And continued lies isn't going to make anything better. The same thing that the US helped do in Libya, they're trying to do in Syria. We claim to be funding rebels, but even Democrats and people in Syria are saying this.
They expressed a question. They said, why is it that the United States, its allies and other countries are providing support, are providing arms to terrorist groups like al-Nusra, al-Qaeda, Arar al-Sham, ISIS, who are on the ground there raping, kidnapping, torturing, and killing the Syrian people, children, men, women, people of all ages. They asked me, why is the United States and its allies supporting these terrorist groups who are destroying Syria when it was al-Qaeda who attacked the United States on 9/11, not Syria? I didn't have an answer for them.
Obviously, the United States government denies providing any sort of help to the terrorist groups that you're talking about. They say they provide help for the rebel groups. Tell us more about...
The reality is, Jake, the reality is, and I'm glad you brought up that point, because this is an often talked about thing by people like Adam Kinzinger and others saying, well, we've got to support the moderate rebels. Every place that I went, every person that I spoke to, I asked this question to them. And without hesitation, they said there are no moderate rebels. Who are these moderate rebels that people keep speaking of?
Do they look like moderate rebels?
Hell no. They look like unevolved baboons, if you ask me. And that's not all. These maniacs have been caging civilians and using them as human shields. Check this out.
Men and women in cages in Ghouta, used as human shields by Jaish al-Islam.
Will the mainstream media report about this? Of course not, because their agenda is to demonize and overthrow the Syrian government. They won't talk about the missiles falling on Damascus city every day by Ghouta, but they will immediately talk about Ghouta when the Syrian government begins to respond and attack them.
Yet go look how the news is portraying Donald Trump for not trying to turn Syria into a slave factory. It's absolutely disgusting. This doesn't even include the fact that the media is forcefully trying to start a war with Russia. They just tested a new missile, and in general, they're not a country that you really want to mess with if you don't have to. All of the Russia claims have been hysterical, exaggerated claims by the fake war machine liberals and social media giving into political pressure. So will this meeting work between Trump and Kim Jong-un? I have no idea. Maybe not, but I hope so. However, it's absolutely disgusting that so many people are trying to stop Trump from talking to him. The same people trying to stop Trump from talking to Kim Jong-un are the same ones who lied about Iraq, Libya, and Syria. They don't care about feminism, equality, peace, and love. They're nothing more than a cult of useful idiots and wolves in sheep's clothing, misleading millions into complete oblivion. I say these things because I love you, I love the world, and I want to see world peace. Communication is very important. And it's absolutely insane that we've been in a cold nuclear war with a country's leader that we've never even spoken to. Thank goodness Donald Trump is trying to have dialogue, and he's not another fake puppet politician propped up by the mainstream media. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for considering. If you'd like to support my news analysis, check out the links below. And as always, have a great week.